twinkle, all your needs will be met. So please turn your cell phone off. Turn it off. Turn your cell phone off. Turn it off. Turn your cell phone off. Turn it off. Turn your cell phone off. All right, everybody on your feet. It's that time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and... Woke up this morning with my mind.
Oh, let's go sing.
Set on spirit.
Good morning, everybody.
Woke up this morning with my mind. Set on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind. Set on spirit. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hey, say hello to somebody around you.
Walking and talking with my mind.
Walking.
Living and loving with my mind. Set on spirit. Living and loving with my mind. Set on spirit. Living and loving with my mind. Set on spirit. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Last time through. Come on.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
All right. Hey there. Good morning. How is everybody this beautiful morning? Yeah, I'm glad to be back. I'm so excited. I come in, I walk in and like, you painted my house. I like it. I want to warm it up a little bit. We're still in process, but you know, I got tired of, Golden's mustard? Yeah, sometimes I felt like we were in a bowl of mustard sometimes. It's been 12 years in the mustard bowl, so I wanted to change it up a little bit. So I want to thank William and Elizabeth and Laura and everybody who did such a great job this week. I had a whole month off. I know. Oh my God, it was the most. And I was supposed to take 3 for my sabbatical, but I only took 1. And I tell you what, I have so much to talk to you about today. But first, Gino is going to come up and sing for us, right? So Gino's going to sing. Gino Walker's joining us today, and something tells me it's going to have to do with Aretha Franklin. Am I right?
Oh, Aretha, the queen of soul.
And also the longest memorial I've ever had in my life.
Well, that's what we do for our queens.
Did they have? Yeah, you know.
It's like 7 hours.
It was 7 hours.
And she's from the Baptist church. That's nothing. Come on.
So let me ask you a question then. I hate to interview, but how does one go to the bathroom at 7 hours? I mean, an hour and 30 minutes in, I'm thinking, I see everybody crossing their legs. People just get up off the stage and choir.
You go carefully, Joe. You go in between the cracks, in between the screaming and the hollering and the passing out. You zip in. You zip in, you zip out, and then you join back in.
And no one even knows you're gone.
They don't know.
They were on the floor.
It's a beautiful thing to see.
Well, we're not going to do that today, all right? But I can tell you that Aretha's going to kick a little bit here. So let's welcome Gino Walker, everybody.
Here we go!
You feel vision and why? How you get your hands so tight? I don't know what we're doing, but we must be living right. Yeah, oh, we have some places to see. I got all my friends with me. Jump in, it ain't no sin to take a ride in my machine. Never you mind the exit signs, 'cause we got lots of time. We can't quit until we get to the other side. With the radio playing our song, we keep rolling on. Who knows how far our love will get before we think about love slowing down. City traffic's moving way too slow. Drop the pedal and can you say go?
Go,
Go!
go,
Go! We're riding on the freeway of love once again. Hey, we're riding on the freeway of love and I began. Oh, we're riding on the freeway of love once again. Hey, we're riding on the freeway of love and I began. All right, everybody, we get ready to ride on that freeway of love. So I want you to let your heart fill up with so much love. I want you to let your heart fill up with so much love that it spills all out into the valley and everybody feels the love. City traffic's moving way too slow. Drop the pedal and
Go.
say go,
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 go.
go. We're riding on the freeway of love once again. Of love and I began. Riding freeway of love once again. Hey, we're riding on the freeway of love and I began. This is what we gonna do, y'all. Say free, 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 you ready to ride a free, 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 free on the freeway of love once again. Freeway of love once again. On the freeway of love and I began. Freeway.
Right.
Well, for those of you here for the very first time, this is our traditional music that we play on Sundays. Gino, great job, thank you. And honey, that was felt. I think everybody felt this, right? So our mission statement, every week we start out at some part in the program, we do our mission statement to remind ourselves why we're here as a center, as a structure, as a building, as a faith community. It's been interesting after being off for a while, and I actually went to a couple of their churches and attended their services, and I noticed there was a heightened awareness about how everyone is talking about how lives are changing one at a time. We're not talking about changing everything all at once. We're talking about changing the world one heart at a time. And I saw a financial advisor, we're changing the world, one client at a time, one this at a time. And I think it's really important that we realize that we have a part in this, and each one of us as an individual plays an important role. I like the fact that she just sang Freeway of Love, because we are all on the same freeway going up the same hill. All religions, all faith traditions, it's one mountain. Some people have an 8-lane freeway because their religions are very big. Other ones have individual paths. Some people have their own individual path where they're literally creating a trail for themselves. But we welcome all faith communities. We honor all faith traditions. Everything has one commonality. It's one mountain and we're all climbing it. So let's sing this together, please, or say this together. We are a dynamic, open, and positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our mission is to awaken you to your divine nature, empowering you to create the life of your dreams. We are changing lives one heart at a time. Let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath in. Put the lights down, if you would, please. One more time. Deep breath in and sigh on the exhale. I don't know about you, but something happens when we cross over to the month of September, and I kind of leave out a sigh going, okay, summer's almost over. We made it through another one. I made it through another one. Take a deep breath in. And we can change the world one heart at a time. And we can change the world one heart at a time. I see you, I know you. You're a part of me, and we can change the world one heart at a time. We can change the world one heart at a time. I see you, I know you, you're a part of me. My heart is open to love. My heart is ready to love. We can change the world one heart at a time. We can change the world one heart at a time.
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living. Please join me in knowing that there is one God, one infinite intelligence, one universal love and light. And I know that this love and this intelligence is within every cell of my being. I know that every breath I take, every thought I have, that I am aligned with this source. And right now, I know that I am expanding to my highest good. That Spirit takes me and propels me forward at all times as divine inspiration floods my being. I know that there is a love and an energy inside me that brings me clarity, peace, comfort, well-being. And I know as I consciously connect with this source and this energy, I feel propelled to move forward with new ideas, new love, and a new light within me. knowing that this intelligence has my highest good, has my back, knowing that this love is within me, I bring gratitude and thanksgiving to the forefront of my mind and to the center of my core. And as I have thanksgiving and gratitude within me, I release this prayer into the law of mind, knowing that as I speak, the universe brings it into fruition. I invite with you to join with me as I release this prayer in saying, and so it is. Amen.
Amen. And get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Let's softly sing this together, please. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Last time, get ready. Get ready, my soul. Take a deep breath in now. One more deep breath in. During today's meditation, we sing the song, Face of God. And I welcome you to join me on a journey, mentally, if you will, that as we sing each verse, you change in your mind and look into someone of a different culture, a different religion, picture them in your mind, and then at the next stanza, trade that again for a different person, a different culture, a different religion, and let's find our commonality with all people by looking them as if they are the face of God. All right, take a deep breath in. Pick someone unlike you that's different. See them in your mind, and let's sing this together. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of love. Change the image. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. Change it up one more. Culture, religion, people. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of love. Now pick someone that you're having an argument with. You are the face of God. Someone you have disagreements with in your life. See them in love. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. See them as the face of love. Sing it with me. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face. One last time, look in the mirror as if you're singing to yourself. Sing it out. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. See yourself in the mirror staring at yourself. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are the family. You are my family. You You are the face of love. You are the face of love. You are my face of love. Last time. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. You are the face of love.
Was grace that taught my heart to feel, and it was grace that always leads me home.
That's thank you to the band, everybody, and the singers. Thank you, Gina. Sorry about that. You didn't hear me. I said that was the ballad number. That was the slow number going out of meditation. So that was beautiful. All right. So today, my talk title is What a Feeling. And I'm going to talk to you about a couple things today. The whole month is dedicated to prayer and how do we pray. But I'm going to change it a little bit up every week because there's some other things I want to share with you. First one, I just want to give a personal reflection. I had a really interesting time away. I didn't turn the TV on for a whole month. I know. No TV. The only time I ever saw a newspaper is if I was laying somewhere and I would just kind of glance at the highlights and I never read an article. I didn't listen to anything. I was barely on social media, and every time I saw something on social media that started turning to a negative slant, I'm like, oh, keep going, keep going. I wanted to look at pictures of puppies and kittens. That was my month. And I tell you what, I came back with a renewed idea and a refreshed idea about what I am and how I fit into this world that seems to be somewhat chaotic. And sometimes we can be misunderstood. And I want to talk about misunderstanding your internal self and how sometimes people don't see you for the true person of who you are. And so I want to give you a little story about a Buddha. Has anyone heard about the Golden Buddha? Know the story behind the Golden Buddha? Actually, I had it right here, but now it's gone. What happened to my Golden Buddha? Anyway, I'm just going to paraphrase it for you. About 300 years ago, there was a Buddhist monastery that was being attacked. And the Buddhist monks there knew that they weren't going to survive it. They knew that they were going to be wiped out. So they took a golden Buddha, which weighed 5 tons of pure gold, and they shrouded it in plaster of it looked different than the golden Buddha, but it was a Buddha nonetheless. But it had all kinds of glass on it. It had all kinds of plaster on it. So it was basically protecting the golden Buddha that was in it. So they figured maybe, just maybe, when they were attacked, that they would preserve that structure, somehow that would make it through. And it made it through the attack. And this was in the 1700s, I think. And 250 years later, 300 years later, in 1955, actually, I think it was May or February 1955, that structure had made it that long. And they wanted to move it from one temple to another. So they had all these ropes and cranes, and they had the ability to pick it up and move it, right? So as they were moving it, it fell. One of the ropes gave way, and it fell down. And when it fell down, the exterior, which was plaster and glass, right? The exterior, something chipped at the very bottom. And of course, you can imagine the people that were doing it were like, oh, God. Deep trouble, I just broke the Buddha. But underneath the Buddha, underneath that plaster, underneath the glass, was this golden. So they went, wait, what's underneath there? It's gold. And they're like, holy cow. So they very carefully started to take the plaster off. And what they discovered was that underneath the exterior, are you following where I'm going with this? Underneath the exterior of our plastic, glass, plaster life that we lead sometimes, there's something underneath it that is invaluable. Now, in today's world, that golden Buddha would be worth probably $250 million, just the gold in and of itself. Everybody go, ooh, that's a lot of Krispy Kreme donuts. Okay, so that, but underneath that was something valuable. There was a treasure. And so that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about what's underneath the exterior that we have spent years creating, right? Years. And what is underneath the exterior, what's underneath inside of us that has been developed by this exterior persona of life events and experiences that may or may not have been as pleasant or as wonderful as we would have liked. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I want to show you. Now, I don't know if this is going to be really accurate or not. This is supposedly, now I don't have the facts, but this is supposedly what the golden Buddha was stored in, and it was stored in different pieces, and inside the different pieces there was a key that told people how to put it together again seamlessly. So that's what it was shrouded in. All right. So what appeared to be a giant accident revealed an inner treasure. Isn't that what happens in our lives? Sometimes the most tragic events of our life really bring in and surface for us the good that we have inside of ourselves, the innate, spiritually coded good that's already within us, that somehow we have forgotten because of the life circumstances and because of what we've gone through in our world. So when you look at what can be an accident or in our lives, some things that, has anyone ever happened that had something happen you weren't happy with? Like this morning, right? Just something happened this morning. You started, and so you put it in this thing called life experience, and you go, how is this good going to surface? What good is going to come from this? But what I've soon realized, and during the last month, I really spent a lot of time contemplating, like, of the things that I thought made the list of really crappy things in my life, circumstances, experiences, people, all these things, really have proven and shown to me who I am in the long run. In the short term, sometimes they see the worst of me. Anybody? Anybody here have a temper? Anybody here get hangry? Hungry and angry at the same time? Anybody kind of say things they wish they hadn't said? Why? Because we forget the inside beauty because we're shrouded in something else. Life experiences. Does that make sense? Yeah. So once we've been broken, what is the key that we can use to start revealing that inner beauty? Is it cold in here? Yes. Now, for me to say that, I know, William, I know. Just put your hands up and go, I have no idea how crazy that man is. Okay. Can we just turn it up a degree, maybe? All right, good. Once we've been broken, or we feel like we've been broken, what is the key? And what do we teach here at the Center for Spiritual Living? We teach that the key is prayer. But a lot of people don't know how to pray. A lot of people think, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. That's the prayers that we've been taught. We haven't learned how to pray. In fact, I think I'm going to do another Learn How to Pray workshop to bone people up, to bring people up on this, on the power of prayer again and how to use that. In fact, I'll make a note of that. I'm going to set that up. So I want to talk about that. But what I want to talk about is when something happens, the space of healing is in between the event itself and the knowing that you are going to go on with your life. There's a space there. There's a space where some of us spiral. There's a space where we look at life conditions and go, oh man, how am I going to get through this? Or you're going to say the word again? This has happened to me yet again? How could I have possibly generated this situation in my life again? But the space in healing actually comes in that place. Does that make sense to you? It comes between the event and the realization and the belief in your own mind, this too I'm going to walk through. And I tell you what, sometimes that space can be long and hard, yeah? Grief can take years. You're in that space, but what if you knew, what if you could recategorize and relabel that space? Instead of negative, it's your healing space. What if you called it? So when someone says, how are you doing? Instead of you're like, oh my God. No, you go, I'm in my healing space. I'm in my healing space. Because the more you talk about it, the more you emphasize it, the more you kind of keep the shroud, keep the plaster and all the stuff around it. But if you knew that you were in your healing space, little by little, you'd start to chisel that stuff away. So why don't we look at life situations and go, I'm in my healing space on something. I'm in my healing space. How does that feel? Does that feel good? It's not about being fixated on the brokenness, but focused on the truth which lies underneath the facade of the pain, illness, and fear. So it's not about being fixated on the broken part of the shell of the Buddha. Does that make sense? because that part is fixated in pain and fear and suffering and all the things that we experience in our life when we're not looking at our own internal goodness. Is this making sense? Am I okay? You okay? You awake? Okay, good. All right. So it's being less fixated on the brokenness part, but rather in praying, our mental acceptance should be filled with conviction, warmth, color, and imagination, but fixated on the healed condition. We talk about this in prayer all the time. Do we ever pray anything out of our world? No, we pray the right stuff in, right? When I pray the right stuff in, the stuff that doesn't conform is whittled away like the plaster and the glass of the facade of the Buddha, and the truth comes out. As long as you know the truth. But sometimes we talk about our truth in terms of this is who I am, and it's in a negative state of mind. It's a negative label. It's a negative consciousness. It's like, I'm not capable of doing this. I'm too old. I'm too this. I'm too that. So we actually don't see our truth as the pure, perfect Buddha. We see it with a lot of flaws in the place, don't we? And by affirming those flaws, what are we doing? We're affirming more experience with those flaws. This reality is felt as we become more and more convinced that Spirit responds to us, and we can see the inner gold treasure inside of us. So the second I decided, and you decide, that we're sick and tired of living with the facade around us, and we begin to break down those barriers, we begin to break that exterior down, we begin to start seeing who our true self is. Our compassionate, loving self. Now, sometimes that can take a while to do. And people will challenge the heaven out of you. Won't they? They will challenge your ability to do that. But within inside of you is that, so once you get that feeling, have you ever had that feeling like, oh, I think I made it through this. I think I made it through this. I look back and I go, yeah, it was horrible as it was happening, but I'm starting to make it through this. It's changing a little bit. When you start having that feeling inside of you, then you know you've tapped into your golden Buddha. Does that make sense? Prayer is nothing but a mental attitude. Prayer is nothing you eat, nothing you smell, nothing you taste, but you cannot pray without thinking. So let's talk about the science of mind, because you cannot pray without thinking. It has nothing to do with the other stuff. It has to do with how we think. Every word is an audible expression of a thought, and therefore the ultimate essence of prayer is your thought. It is nothing but a simple and direct positive believing, a mental attitude. That is all prayer is. Prayer is a mental attitude of knowing that between the incident and the space of healing is the belief that things are working out for your highest and best good. Are you following me? So what's important is, how do I use my audible expressions and use that thinking process when I'm in the healing space? That's the danger zone for a lot of people, myself included, because when I'm in the healing space, I go to the pity party place. And I invite all of you to join me. At least all of my family and close members and anyone else that will listen to my rant, come join me in my hate space. Seriously, my negative space that I've created. Instead of calling that the sacred healing space that it is, I really have to be careful. I caution all of us to be careful that when we're in the healing space, we don't go to that other place. We watch our words. We watch our intentions. By thinking consciously and with deep feeling, we implant the right idea in mind, and the mind reproduces this idea as the effect in the body. We rediscover what has already been there. That's a big one. Rediscovering what was always there. My issue is sometimes I really didn't know if it was ever there, because I forgot to remember what it was like when it was. because so many pieces of plaster and layers of plaster have built up my life experience, and I put all sorts of things on the exterior facade that I forgot what's really me. I had a revelation because there was a time there when I was all by myself on vacation. I've always wanted to say, I just need a couple days to myself. So Trey was visiting his family, and there I am on a beach in Fort Lauderdale all by myself. Nothing to read, no social media, no book. I didn't bring a book, nothing. Stripped of everything, not everything. That was a different beach. All I could do was look at the water. And I had to really make sure my cell phone, it's like, don't pull your cell phone out. The inclination is to be on your cell phone when you're staring at the ocean. When you have an opportunity to see the vastness of this moment, you're going to be staring at a little thing you hold in your hand. Put it away, Joe. And that was a discipline. But I had this revelation because I was looking out into this ocean and I was watching people in the waves, and I got on the waves and I played for a while and all that stuff. But I had a lot of time just to stare into the nothingness of that. And yet it was staring into the everything of that. Does that make sense? I was staring into nothing, but everything was rushing through my mind. You know? It's like, okay, what are you going to do with your life? Are you happy? Are you sad? What are you going to do? What's going to change? How's your health? Right? How's your relationships? I started running this whole inventory of things. And I was trying to remain as distant as I could from it, but something kept coming back to me, and it was the story of the golden Buddha. It's like, Joe, don't you understand that all these things that are going on they're swirling around in your own personal life and in the world, because it's not just about Joe, right? It's not just about you. It's what's about swirling about in the world too. That all of this is a part and parcel and process of us rediscovery that you're in your healing space all the time. Thank you. Give me another one. Ooh, thank you. We live in a healing space at all times. It's not the incident becoming the space, becoming the healing. Because we're human, we're always in our healing space. Because I don't know anybody who's totally realized. You know what I mean? Who's like all the time. If they've never been in a car or a plane or an airport, if they're always there, because when you're there, it pisses you off when you travel. We're waiting. So we're always in the space of that space. Does that make sense? And that's why the work is so important to us. That's why doing our spiritual work, our prayers begin and end in our own mentality. When we realize that behind the words we speak is the power of the universe, when we feel that power operating through our words, we know our prayer is complete. And I have to tell you that when I'm praying now, and you know, granted, I've got a couple years of practice, there is a feeling that you get, knowing. And I mean, we've had some amazing demonstrations. I'm not going to tell you who or what, but we had a guy that went in for a carotid artery surgery this week. And they were very scared, right? And our prayer ministry was on it, right? They called in, they're like, put me on the prayer list. And this gentleman went from the hospital ICU, not even to anything intermediary, but right home in record time. And now, you might say, it's just coincidence. But then we had another one in the ICU. Very ill and very sick. Skipped the next part of the hospital visit, already on her way to recovery. This prayer stuff works when you work it. We just forget to work it. If you want to have your prayers dismantled, tell a bunch of people. If you do. And then that old phrase, you know, people go, well, and I tell them, forgive them where they know not what they do. You know that biblical scripture? Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. So you tell people and they say, oh, well, I don't think you should do that. Or, and you know what I want, your friends that I'm talking, family, friends, people, when you share with them, they kind of have a way of just sort of dismantling the dream for you. Anybody have that? Okay. So here's a way to look at it a little bit differently. Ready? Here it is. Forgive them, for they know not what they see. Because they're just looking at the outside of the Buddha. They're looking at the plaster and the glass, and they're not looking from where you're looking. So don't be misled. Forgive them, for they know not what they see. And so don't even have that conversation. Because you just need to be able to see your own golden self. Because the second you miss that part of it, you're going to become a victim of the plaster. And for centuries, hidden from sight. But the value was always there. The treasure was always there. Imagine how many people went and revered the facade, having no idea that within it held a treasure. Makes you wonder. Some of us have done that in previous religions. We've revered what was being said, and we realize, oh my gosh, that's just a facade of something, and underneath it there's something more meaningful. I got to find what's underneath that. And so then it no longer works for us because we find something deeper that means something. Doesn't mean it's bad, it just means it had to crumble away for you personally. It doesn't mean you have to go out and recruit other people to have their plaster chip away. Their ropes will drop when they'll drop, if they'll ever drop. But it's not up to you to decide that. It's up to you to find your own inner golden treasure. Does that make sense? So look at that. That was under that all the whole time. Again, the space of healing is between the event and the knowing that you are going to go on with your life. We are always in that space. What a feeling that is to know that. What a feeling it is to know that that's the space. I don't have to look for the answer. I'm already in the space. Pay attention, Joe. Life leaves clues. Look at them. That make sense? Good, because so ends your lesson. Thank you, everybody.
So I'd like to call our concierge up, please, and it's time to get ready for our offering. So I want to tell those of you that are live streaming that there's a button there that you can donate, or you can text your offering, which is what I like to do. And so let's just get ready for this sacred time in our service where we give back, out of gratitude for all that we have, knowing that it comes back to us. So let's say our prayer together, please. I offer this gift with joy and gratitude. I receive freely and give freely, knowing the law of circulation is working perfectly in my life and the life of this center.
All right, here we go, folks. Let's find the golden inside treasure inside ourselves every day. All right, here we go. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. One more time through. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. It's up to me to be thankful. It's up to me to be kind. It's up to me to be grateful. It's up to me Everybody on your feet. Let's go. Come on. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Last time through. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life.
All right. So this is Dee. You've been on vacation, huh?
Playing with the great grandkids.
So Dee, how long have you been coming here?
7 years here, but we were in Denver for 30 years at Mile High.
Wow. Well, we're happy you're here. Thank you. All right. So let us bless our offering as we say this prayer together, please. We bless this collective offering and receive it with gratitude, knowing it is spirit in action. As this currency flows through our center and beyond, it blesses many lives, including my own. All right. Thank you, Dee. Thank you, Dale. All right. And thank you, Dale, for filling in for me last month. So at this time, I'd like to welcome our visitors. If you are here for the first time, please stand. We have a gift for you. Don't be bashful. And yes, right here up front. And oh, welcome, welcome. So what we've given you is a CD holder with information about our center. And please stop by the foyer table out there and pick up a CD of a couple of Dr. Joe's talks. We welcome you. If you're from the Valley, we hope that you come back and make this your spiritual home. If you're visiting, please enjoy your stay while you're here. All right, so what else is happening? I think we have announcements, don't we? Today? Soon?
Thank you for joining us today. Here are this week's announcements. This Thursday, join Reverend Laura for Soul Sisters, Sharing the Journey. If you like connection, friendship, and amazing conversation, then Soul Sisters awaits you. This Thursday from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. in the Om Room. This is a love offering class. You've heard his name, even some of his quotes that shaped the science of mind teaching. Now is your opportunity to allow him, through the direction of Reverend Ruth Ann Banner, to take your spiritual experience to an entirely new level. Reverend Ruth Ann will be your guide of Troward, defining the basic elements of metaphysics, spirit, and matter. It all begins Tuesday, October 2nd, from 9 a.m. to noon, and lasts for 10 weeks. This is an accredited class with a tuition of just $300 for the entire 10 weeks. For more information and to sign up, call the office or visit the table on the patio immediately following service. We are excited to announce our next new member orientation dates, October 14th and 22nd from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. If you're ready to know more about your center, this class will gently walk you through who we are. Join us, sign up on the patio, and we will see you on October the 14th. Prosperity Plus is in your immediate future. Dr. Joe will be leading one of the most popular courses ever beginning October 1st. It's based on the principle of tithing and the law of circulation. The materials are just $56 for this 10-week course. For more information on the class, here is Mary Morrissey.
Hi, this is Mary Morrissey, and I'm here to invite you into an experiment, a 10-week experiment in living a more prosperous life. For many, many years, I've been a tither. I learned that principle when it wasn't easy. I learned it when my back was up against the wall and things were very, very tough for me. And I'd heard about tithing, but I'd never really done the practice. Well, your church is sponsoring a 10-week experiment in larger living, where you will come together with a group of your fellow congregants and do an experiment once a week for 10 weeks, making a commitment to live by the laws of the universe in ways that open you and your life up to the abundance that is here for every single one of us. You know, it's almost like a television. You can have it tuned to CNN, constantly negative news, all the while Discovery, travel, the Home and Garden Network, all these other frequencies or ways of experiencing life are available. But we only experience what we're tuned to. In Prosperity Plus, week by week, you'll be given the opportunity to practice very simple but highly effective ways in which you become more tuned to the infinite, more tuned to your gifts and talents, more tuned to the ability that is your God-given right to live in abundance. And you begin to learn that it's not only your right to be prosperous, it's actually your responsibility to be prosperous, so that you can extend the good that is you well beyond your physical presence, to give the gifts that you'd love to give in the world, and to live the life you would love to live. In Jeremiah, we find God saying, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and give you a future with great hope. Well, if you'd like to experiment in a 10-week experiment with that kind of life, then your minister will announce how it is that you can sign up for Prosperity Plus, a new way of living.
Okay, we don't need that. Anyway, this is a fabulous class. Dr. Joe has taught it before, and it has changed lives. I know tithing has definitely changed my lives. I just want to make a correction. There will not be Soul Sisters this week. Julie slipped that in by mistake out of habit. It will not be coming until the 23rd of September, and the 20th, is it? Whatever, that Thursday. You'll get it. There'll be another message, but it won't be there. And then it will be going every week instead of once a month, and Rebecca will be she'll be facilitating it. So please don't show up this Thursday. Anyway, this is our 1-minute miracles. Like Dr. Joe said, we have a powerful prayer team, and there's a group of them over there in the Om room. Please, if you're going through anything, go and join them. They get prayer. It's so wonderful. And I think that's it. Also, don't forget we have our coffee and donuts and conversation over in Costa Hall. Come on over there and join us and meet your fellow congregants over there. We have a wonderful spiritual community. And I think that's it. Is that all right, then let's just do a closing prayer. Let's just take a deep breath in. Right here and right now, we are immersed in this divine loving presence. Each one of us is an individual expression of it. There is that divine gold, that divine perfection that is within each and every one of us. And so we shed that facade. We shed that facade and let our love and our light shine through. We live in that knowing that our life is unfolding, is blossoming in magnificent ways. And so I am so grateful for everyone that is here, so grateful for this teaching, so grateful that Reverend Dr. Joe is back. Dr. Joe is back sharing his wisdom and his light with each and every one of us. So we go this week about our days in that knowing that Spirit is there guiding us and giving us the messages that we need, and that we show up as this perfection in everything we do. So knowing this is the truth, I release my word into the law, knowing that it is so, and together we say, and so it is. Amen. Have a wonderful week, everyone.
Wake up and I say, today I love
know we're playing tonight at Shanghai, so I'm actually going to drive home and take a nap. And then we,
Oh, you're playing for the holidays?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like fun.
and then they're closed for the rest of September to remodel the pitch.
Wait, everybody's doing that. Bernie's is closing too.
Is that right?
Just for 2 weeks, but they're doing a remodel.
Yeah, it'll be through September.
Yeah.
I filled up most of the days. I got a few Fridays.
Yeah.
I think I covered my butt.
Well, a little time off is good too.
Yeah, a little bit. You can afford
Yeah, a
it.
little bit. Just a little bit.
Well, at the end of the month, I'll have a meeting with vacation.
There you go. Oh yeah, you're going up to, is it Canada?
Yeah, we'll do the one gig and then I'll just go to my sister's and hang for a few days.
Oh, perfect. That doesn't suck. That's a beautiful place.
Yeah. Look forward to that.
Yeah.
They're gonna wanna take me all these places and all I wanna do is sit in their front yard and chill.
Little right. You know, that's when I go to see my kids. They work all day, so I really treasure when they're at work.
Yeah.
Because I'll just sit and look out the window. Or I go sit up on the rooftop and look at the whole lake. You know,
Oh, yeah.
take the dog up for a little walk.
Yeah.
And then they come home and they're ready to go out.
Yeah,
They want to go eat and they want to go play, you know, pinball or whatever. But my kids, well, both of them, they know every joint in town. They go,
Sure.
oh, let's go here because they're having the artist painting thing. So you walk into the bar and there's you know, it's like this painting outline, and then you get to go up and paint with the art. It's like a giant coloring book on the wall with paint. You go to the back room, there's pool tables and vintage pinball machines.
Oh, wow.
So I love that part because there's still the kid in them. You know?
Right.
And then, Mom, we have to get chocolate popcorn. What? Chocolate popcorn. We have to go to the Cinerama and what it is just popcorn with sprinkled chocolate on it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And they're in Seattle itself?